I'm Allie Craig, and I'm traveling across the country to fix the heartbeat of the modern economy, the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are like no other business. It isn't just about selling a product or a service, it's about selling the experience, the relationship, and speaking to the social stories that hold the hearts and subconscious minds of our audiences. And it's these fledgling brands that must be designed as much for their audiences as it is for their authors if they're going to break the statistics and make bank. Having fixed countless brands over the last 20 years and worked with hundreds more entrepreneurs, founders, and startups, I know that I need to do something radical to get these brands and their founders back on track. Because in this age of social media where everyone is a critic as well as an instant expert, your business and audience can boom or backfire overnight. If I have any hope of saving these brands and transforming their businesses, I have to get these entrepreneurs to embrace the experience they are really selling and escape the mindset that all they are is just an offer. Going into Orlando, Megan is still in her freak out, and that's a little bit concerning.
Certainly this idea of becoming visible, like even the exercise of doing the video journals and video diaries, I'm like, I don't want to look at myself on the camera, like, oh gosh, so there's definitely that visibility factor for me.
This is where the brand isn't about you, and you have to build a brand that is about your audience. Just as simple as that.
I'm a professor, I'm a writer. I am very comfortable in the written form. That's probably been my biggest peeling back is like, okay, I'm here.
Megan comes from an academia world, which actually I did too. She's coming from that world, and then all of a sudden she's breaking out into a more cultural, fun, exciting, innovative world. In academia, it's very almost corporate. I can't even explain another way. There's like a certain look that when you go into work that you have to dress, kind of not be corporate, not be too out there, because it's still a business and she wants to be approachable. So I think that she's kind of transitioning, into that arena.
Women tend to, in society, pull back a little bit more, and so I think being visible is a feminist statement of presencing, and so I can embrace it on that level as well. Getting a little more comfortable with it. I wouldn't say it's comfortable, but I'm, moving in that direction.
I know that you love color, obviously.
Yes.
I think it's great. I think it shows off your personality and your brand.
Sometimes it can get a little wild and wacky, but...
So creativeness and art has a lot to do with your business?
Yes.
Okay. Does this feel comfortable? Does this feel like you?
She said, how is this? I was like, it's okay. And she's like, no, it's not. Let's move on. It looks good, but if it doesn't work for you, then that's important. That's the most important.
You can wear whatever you want when you've made it. That's the bottom line, that's the truth. But when you're starting a new business and you're really trying to attract people, especially in the online world, there is a lot of noise out there. And your expertise is not enough. You need to really get to the bottom of what your business is, what your values are, who you are, and then align that with your clothing.
Her natural tendency is to think in abstracts, and she's seeing links, and that makes her go round in circles. It's not tangible. If she wants to succeed as an entrepreneur, she has to make sure that she brings all of those abstracts into a tangible form.
So I felt resonance with Jenny P in terms of going through this creative process, and she had this vision for this weaving, because we've been talking about weaving and colors and all the different strands.
So tell me about your family of weavers.
Well, that's my mom mostly, but she's a spinner and a weaver, and I grew up doing that, but she's very linear in her approach, and my approach to most things tends to be less linear. So I'm totally digging the spiral.
What does the spiral symbolize to you?
Well, it's about, I think in some senses, both with self-care, with creativity, with whatever. We're always kind of spiraling in and out. Like, I think balance is somewhat of a misnomer, that it's always a dynamic process. So for me, the spiral is about that dynamic. Oh, my mom would be so proud. My mom is a weaver, spinner and a weaver, and so I grew up weaving with her. She was always super linear in how she approached it, and I'm like, why don't we just like weave in this way and do like applique? So it's a little bit more of an artistic freeform approach, within structure. That revealed to me that aligned collaboration, working on any creative project, it could be, with creatives, it could be health and wellness, it could be in a great variety of different disciplines, but it has to align with the values of love, equity, and justice. And if it aligns with those values, I can get on board.
We got Megan dressed and on point, and we got Megan outside because this is a nature girl. But instead of just shooting her walking through grass or in nature, we started to really show her brand and really kind of show her fun and creative spunk. Megan and Ginny P rocked Megan's photo shoot, from being creative and fun and artsy to literally jumping for joy in front of the pool. This is Dr. Megan Todd.
Yeah, there. Chin down. Yes, there you go. I can see your eyes. I love it. I love it.
That energy, that spunk, that excitement, that creativity, all her own, is what she is about. We captured photography of her being a bit more zen and working with clients, all the way to the fun and vivaciousness that she really is. The truth is that for Dr. Megan Todd, no matter which way she decides to go with her brand is rooted in creativity and bringing things to life. And that's exactly what we captured with her photography.
I feel so grateful in this process to have all of these people who have vision and expertise, and they're generously showing up and offering support and guidance and feedback, and so that feels like such an amazing and supportive thing that I feel super grateful for.
Those little details in the photograph that are actually going to help create depth. We're not just looking for beautiful pictures here. We're looking for pictures that convey a story. And honestly, it's these photos that are going to convey the brand story more than any copy I could ever write for them. It's the photograph that's going to stop somebody from just scrolling through. It's the photograph that's going to intrigue somebody to either share it or read the post comment or read the copy on the website. That's what we need for every single brand. We need photography that captures the spirit of the person, but also intrigues the mind of the viewer to, what is this about? Maybe this is something I like. Maybe this is something for me. If we can get that buy-in from the audience, then they're already one step closer to saying yes to the brand. And that is what good brand photography does. She came off the plane owning her brand, which is exactly what I wanted for all the brands with this Orlando experience. I wanted it to be a moment where they can begin to step into their new brand, begin to embody their brand, dress as their brand, move as their brand, speak as their brand. And Sylvia came off the plane doing just that.
She's got a lot of layers, and we need to unpeel all those layers to get to the root of who Sylvia really is.
We did this hilarious kind of girl swapping clothes, girly dress-up pajama party, sitting all together on sofas, this abundance of clothes and accessory Ali had brought here. There were 100 necklaces and an abundance of earrings and shoes, the most craziest, highest high heel shoes I've ever seen. So we had a fashion show.
I think that we should all have different facets. We're not one-dimensional people. We shouldn't have one-dimensional wardrobes. But with Sylvia, she's very theatrical. almost to a point that she's sending a mixed message to her clients, I feel, at this point. So she really needs to hone in her business and align that with her personal style.
It's not about the most expensive clothes, but it's about having style that reflects who you are, what you're about, and where you're going. Because if your style looks good, everything else from your nonverbal communication to your tone of voice changes as well. And Sylvia was up for the change when it comes to Orlando.
The stylist here, the expert, they were able to push me in a good way out of my comfort zone, connecting me with a piece, for example, animal prints. Oh my gosh, animal prints was of my never ever ever list. Oh my gosh, the pairing, my business suit with stripes over a top with animal print and then golden earrings, it looks so classy. It looks curated, beautiful, artsy, edgy, architecturally. Everything my brand is all about. I mean, I think that triggered a bit really the inner little girl in all of us women. We all are mature women. All the brand experts here, we are not young girls. We are all mature women. But being just in the space, like this is like the little girl in the candy store. I mean, this is a dream space full of clothes and jewelries and accessories. Hello? None of us is a model figure. We all have our certain unique quirks, yeah? From size and shapes and out of proportions and this and that. And everyone is very different, beautiful in their own rights, and yet not the standard model. We all looked so stunning and beautiful, no matter our little quirks we might have. It was just such a joy and so much fun in this safe, supportive, and yet professional space.
They have to show up as the best version of themselves on the day of their photo shoot. That's one reason why we make sure not to overwhelm them with information. We've created a luxurious experience for them to relax into. We've created an environment completely different than their everyday space because we need them in a new environment for them to embody their new brand. These are all essential elements that we plan for their photo as well as for their overall brand experience.
I really got an expansion of my taste. I got creative input, and I felt like $1 million during our shoot.
She stepped up her style game to step into her new brand. Sylvia knew coming into Orlando the power of style, and she completely owned it. So for her photo shoot, we wanted to make sure that we were doing a blend of what it was to be an empowered woman. So we made sure that we had her solo, really kind of showing the lifestyle and the luxury of what being an empowered woman can be. We also wanted to make sure that we were in a little bit more classic business look. We wanted to have a little more artsy look because art is a true part of her school and what she wants to be building. And then of course we had to have Peter in the mix as well. We did have photography that really works and captures her love and passion, what it means to be an empowered woman, and what it means to be an empowered woman in a relationship. Sylvia owned it through and through her photo shoots, through how she showed up with her nonverbal communication, her interactions, her relationship, as well as how she articulated it to the camera. She was truly inspiring all throughout Orlando. Gina had one of the most amazing breakthroughs. This entire process, Gina has been in it to win it, and guess what? In Orlando, she owned it. She really did step in to who Gina Bell is, what her brand is all about. She embodied it from the inside out, the way she acted, the way she interacted with the brand, the way she held herself, the way she spoke of her brand.
First do this. Let's put this one on. So now we have 2 outfits.
Okay.
2 outfits today.
So I'll put this on.
So Gina, the unicorn, she's so lovely. She's so full of gratitude. You just want to like help her. She's so wonderful, and she has a lot to work with. What we needed to do is make it look fashionable and bring out all the colors. She's really into colors.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, now you know exactly what to wear tomorrow.
Okay.
Outfit number 1.
Gina, we shot in Celebration, Florida, which was absolutely perfect for her.
Go forward. Let me see more. Okay, perfect.
And we even ran into a church sign of all things that talked about how everyday life should be an excitement. It should be an exclamation, which is so on point for Gina's brand. Then we knew that this whole ball gown skirt tutu thing was going to be at sunset. We wanted that timing. Originally, I was thinking a very iconic pose of her in profile with grass and lots of space around it. But while we were looking for that perfect space, we found something way better than I ever could have imagined. This abandoned overpass bridge in Florida with the Florida palm trees and Spanish moss, with distance, with framing of the concrete sides. It was perfect. And more importantly, it was almost at true west. So perfect for the sunset.
As a stylist, you know, it's really not about my style. It's more about bringing out the essence of the person. And with Gina, she's so vibrant and animated, and the colors. So we wanted to do that in a way that was fashionable and stylish and authentic to who she is. And she rocked it.
After doing photography and photo shoot work for over 20 years for hundreds of brands, Gina's was truly an absolutely magical experience. And it was so awe-inspiring because Gina owned it. In that moment, you can tell that she completely embodied where she was going with her new brand. It was truly awe-inspiring.
I don't think I realized when I was very small that other kids didn't grow up the same way that I did. I had a very creative mom, you know, Saturday Night Live skits in the garage, in the backyard, mystery parties and belly dancers and backyard circuses. It was just like very, very special, but I didn't know that as a child. Running down that overpass, like her energy was with me 100%. It like almost felt like something I haven't experienced like in my life. You know what I mean? Like just this energy and adrenaline and like this color coming from the inside. Yeah, my mom was definitely there. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. You know, it was almost like she was in the wind.